And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show. And this is going to be episode 428. So I hope you guys had a great day and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK show, I am going to be having a conversation with Syfaxx. And this is going to be his first appearance on the show in a one-on-one form because he was usually on the panel shows most of the time before he decided to go and get a better job and leave me like my dad. So that's what ended up happening.
Yeah, that was roughly about a year ago. I was on your show almost 3 times a week, like Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for like probably almost a couple months, probably around this time last year. And then, I ended up having to go get like a real job because I was running out of my savings and I was doing stupid shit on the side. And I was trying to do the streamer thing. And then, well, I wasn't even really doing the streamer thing. I was just trying to do videos. And I don't know, doing streams actually works out better for my content, like because I don't know, I like talking to people, and my computer sucks at making videos, so I'd get lazy trying to edit, and I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna waste 9 hours to do like a 5-minute edit because my computer's just a piece of shit. So that's gonna be one of my big purchases coming up for sure.
I told people this. I never did that back in my heyday. I just downloaded VSDC because I was always looking for free, good video editors. I have VSDC, which is essentially a bootleg Sony Vegas. I do the intro. I record the whole video. I do the video in it, outro, render it. I just do the thumbnail and the tags and everything. I never did any of that editing shit that everyone always did. I always found that to be a waste of time. The only way I ever did any of that editing is if it was one of those like informational videos where you would have like the movie scenes and the images pop up. That's the only extensive editing I ever did. And even that wasn't hard. That's just downloading some images and just putting them in there. It's not even hard at all. You know?
Yeah, for the most part, I would try to film like some type of funny little intro video that I could cut my like a joke intro video talking about whatever movie I was going to review or whatever I was talking about. And then I would cut my actual intro, my Syfaxx intro into that, and then just start talking about whatever I was going to talk about, and like not even address the stupid intro. And just because it was like a funny hook to draw people in, and it worked because there's some pretty funny ones on there. Like I was like, man, I should do those more often. But even doing those, it would just take forever, just because my computer sucks, and it's disheartening when you're sitting there like, just to set up my computer, to like even just set up my OBS, to set up my what's it called, DaVinci and all that, have everything set up, have everything ready, tuned and fine tuned in, like that takes 15-20 minutes. Doesn't sound like a long time, but when you're sitting there like, I want to go now, waiting around for 20 minutes just for it to be able to upload something, and then when you upload it into like DaVinci or something, and it takes 4 minutes, when you know that this is a 30-second process, and it's frustrating. And when you're trying to do that often, you just drive yourself crazy, man.
And then it's time consuming if you're doing, and then it's also time consuming if you're doing movie reviews, because those kind of have to be up Thursday through Sunday before the new week comes in. If you want the most engagement on them.
Exactly. You got to be on top of it. Or if you're lucky, or, out here in California, we're kind of at least lucky with that, where you can find like early showings, or you go to what's called like the Screen Unseen on Mondays at the AMC, and that'll be a random movie. Like last summer, one of the Screen Unseens was Jurassic Park, like 2 or 3 weeks early. And it was like, okay, cool. Yeah. So I had plenty of time to get a review up for that. Like right now, I saw one 2 weeks ago that was it's called Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. And then I also, because I really liked the movie, I saw it again on Tuesday, even though it just came out tonight. They had an early screening of it. So I was like, man, this would have been a good movie to do reviews on again. So we'll see. I might pick it up. I'll probably pick it up. It's the one with Sam Rockwell. And it's more of an indie movie. It's kind of a low budget horror movie, or not a horror movie. Like it's like a sci-fi comedy. It deals with AI and stuff. It's really good. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it's crazy, but it's fun.
The last movie I watched and reviewed was with Nate a few weeks. Like last week, it was Send Help. It was the new Sam Raimi horror movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I had some issues with it, but overall, I would say it was a good experience.
Yeah, for the most part, I've heard a lot of people say that they actually like that movie. I haven't
Mhm.
seen that one yet. I might go check it out. Maybe that was something I was gonna do this weekend, maybe. Because I was supposed to go out this weekend. I had plans set up with this chick, and then I found out she had kids, and I was like, "Yeah, I canceled that shit."
No, no, just take her back like late night. Do her. That's all you got to do. She's
I've
gonna
I've
hire a babysitter anyway.
I've done all that, and then it turns into a whole ordeal, and I'm like, I've done that, I don't know, 6 or 7 times, and they always turn into, like, month-long ordeals, and, like,
Oh no!
it's a waste of time and a waste of my money, man, and right now I'm
Good
trying to
lord.
save money because 'cause I'm going to MegaCon next month, so looking forward
That's
to that.
isn't that the one in Florida?
Yeah, that's the Florida one. I'm going out to that this year instead of, Vegas. 'Cause
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think I'm gonna go to the I don't think I'm gonna go to the Nerdrotics this year, but because I've went to that one for the last 5 years, and I've been to Vegas,
Yeah.
I don't know, for the last 12 years or so,
Mhm.
even without that event. So I'm like, I'm kind of
Mhm.
Vegased out,
Mhm.
and, a bunch of my friends, especially the ones that I've met on here, are more East Coast people anyways, like some of the like, Rockefeller, Angel, DK Bones, they're all East Coast, and, a lot of the people that I hang out with anyways are all going there, like, freaking DAT, they're all going. I mean, they're from out here in California. They're
Mhm.
all going out there. So, and I think the G&G meetup has 600 people that are already that have reservations for the hangout. So it's gonna be a lot of fucking people.
At the MegaCon one, they already have 600 people. That's
600 is that? Yeah,
That is fucking insane. Holy shit. No, I have
gonna
to
be a
agree
lot
with
of
you on
people.
that. I mean, I'm always the Vegas one's so easy for me because you know where I live, right? It's super easy for me to get there. It's
Yeah,
like
it's just a
literally an
couple
hour.
hours.
It's literally like
Yeah,
an hour and 30 minimum. So me going, it's not that bad. It's just, when I go out there and we hang out for a few days, literally after a few days, I'm like, I'm just trying to go back home and chill. It's cool seeing everyone you talk to on the internet. It's cool to have those moments and experiences, but once you kind of do it, once or twice. I'm gonna be doing it 3 times coming up this year. It's like, you already did it. You got your pictures. They know who you are. Something much more different that could happen unless like Dean Kane
yeah.
showed up to one of these and that would be pretty cool. But like outside of that, once they kind of know your face, they already know who you are a few times. They're like, you
Yeah,
set it up
and,
a
like,
little bit. It's good.
I
Yeah.
know Gary and most of those people, like, I'm to the point where even, Mel, his wife, just, like, waved me in even last year when I showed up. I was sitting there standing in line, she came walking through the line, she's like, "What are you standing in line for? Get in there." And I was like, "Oh, cool, yeah." I was just hanging out
Yeah.
with the people I came with, and, and it was cool to meet up with a bunch of the new people I met from doing the streaming stuff because
Mhm.
the the years prior to that, I was not doing any of the content. I wasn't doing the streams. I wasn't doing any of that stuff. And so I met a lot of people, even though I'm sure I would talk in the chat every now and then, but I was more of a lurker. I'd always just kind of
Mhm.
I would talk here or there even when I can, but most of the time when people are streaming, I'm at work. So I would listen
Yeah.
to I'm just listening to it if when I can hear it, if I don't have power tools and shit going on, but I would still have it playing. So I was like, I'm caught up with most of the stuff, and I'm like, man, I should just go ahead and do this. And then when I met DA, and I met DA at a Chris Gore like meetup event out here in LA. It was actually out in Pasadena. And then DA was like, just fucking do it. And I was like, all right. So I bought a mic and camera like 2 weeks later, and he was like, I'll have you on. And I'm like, okay, you realize I have 0 followers and no account, right? He's like, I'll just bring you on, and I'm like, okay, so we'll just go from there. And ever since then, I just talk to all sorts of people now. It's kind of cool.
What's crazy is for people that are gonna watch this on a replay. What is your origin story as far as like growing up? So did you have both parents growing up? And did you
No,
go to public school, private school? You homeschooled?
public school. So I didn't
Okay.
have both parents. I was raised by my mom and my grandma. My mom's like
Okay.
an old school biker chick, like ran with like literally like the Devil's Henchmen. She knew the Hell's Angels, the Mongols, stuff like that. And I'm from a town called Sunland Dahunga. It's a biker town. And then my grandma, we lived with my grandma as well, and she was like straight laced as can be. Like she was a transcribe for a lawyer, like an actual grammar Nazi. If you know what a transcribe for a lawyer is, she would dictate what lawyers say and have to type it all out perfectly. And even if you mistype something on there, like the lawyers could use that against you.
Mhm.
So I was raised to speak properly when I need to, but I also, you know, went to public school, so you just you speak the way that you are around people. Like if you're around people, you need to like go to job interviews or whatever. Yeah, I can clean it up nice and talk all prim and proper. It's all good and use the right dialects that just sound good. And then just hanging out with people, you can just talk like you're a fucking normal person. It's all good. So I had kind of a mix of both worlds, like somebody who is really hard into drugs and biker gangs and shit like that, and then the other side of it where somebody who worked for a lawyer for 45 years. So I had both of those things growing up. And, you know, I think it balanced me out pretty decently. It's like, yeah, I didn't get into riding motorcycles because my mom got in a bad accident, but I also didn't follow everything else uh, to the T,
Do
anyways.
they smoke? Because my mom didn't smoke. My grandma did. Their
My
generation
mom
loves smoking.
my mom smoked cigarettes, or my mom and grandma both smoked cigarettes. My mom quit smoking cigarettes when I turned 18. She was like, "Hey, for your birthday, I'm gonna quit smoking," and I was like, I mean, that's a gift for both of us, I think. But you know, I was like, and she hasn't picked one up since, so you know, good on her. But
Yeah,
my
my mom said
grandma
she
was
tried
a
it and just hated it. She couldn't do it.
my
My grandma loved smoking. I don't know why. I don't know what this addiction to smoking everyone has. I can't take the smell. It smells absolutely terrible.
well, I smoked cigarettes for like 10 years.
Mhm.
From about well on and off 10 years if I were to add it all up. And like I still smoke vapes and stuff just because the nicotine, but I'm also trying to get away from those just because it's just an expensive dumb habit. It doesn't really do much. And then but my grandma would smoke a pack a day, and then at night would just fucking hammer back freaking scotch whiskey like no tomorrow, all the way up until she was about I think when she passed she was 75. And it was like her heart finally gave out, and I was like, 75, that's crazy. But up until then she would go to the doctors, and the doctors would be like, it sickens me how healthy you are, because of how rough she lived. Like she didn't give a shit. She was like, yeah, I smoke a pack a day and I drink scotch whiskey. And I'm like, I, my mom's system is all messed up and everything. Like she has all these like problems after her motorcycle accident. So I'm like, I hope all those problems my mom had skipped a generation. You know how sometimes stuff skips, you know, and like the generation after like picks up what they had. I'm like, I hope I have more of my grandma's genes when it comes to that. To just be like, because I drink too much, and I still smoke a little bit of fucking nicotine, but I've definitely got away from the cigarettes because
I imagine your grandma. She was the one that their generation always drank 40s and King Cobras. What is wrong with these people? Every day. It wasn't just once a
no,
week. Every day. These people were going
no,
insane.
my grandma's white. She drinks scotch.
He's not black. Black's a King Cobra's a black people thing, but like fucking hell. So growing up, do you remember like high school and any of that shit? You still
Oh
like go
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I still remember high school. Like I grew up. Well, like I said, I grew up in Sunland, Hunga. The high school, or when I was in high school, I was like, and I still am a metalhead, but I had long hair, and I picked up playing guitar, and now I've been playing guitar for like going on 22 years now. So I've been a musician since I was 15. And when I was still in high school, me and like my best friend, I've had him on my streams before. His name's Joel.
Mhm.
We started a band, and we started playing shows all over like Hollywood and wherever we could pick up shows. And so I've played all sorts of places. When I was even only 17, I played shows at the Whiskey. I played on the Queen Mary, played all along the Sunset Strip, all that stuff, man. So like I did a bunch of music when I was a lot younger, and I don't know, it was more rowdy, a lot more rowdy. I've
What
calmed
made you
down over
kind
the
of
years.
what made you retire out of the music?
Well, what ended up happening is like, well, because I was always the youngest person in my band, so everyone else was about 3 to 4 years older than me. So by the time I was turning about 21, 22 ish, somewhere around there, everyone else was like they're needing to get their life together. And so, and they all moved in different areas. So everybody was too far away to practice. And like the internet wasn't the way that it is now. Like
Mhm.
if if my band was like falling apart now, we could be like, hey, let's load up on a Zoom call or on Discord or some shit. We could run a live video and we could practice live still, and then we could meet up and just play, you know. But back then that wasn't really a thing because that was 14 years ago. So yeah. Michael, yeah, we joked about that.
That you know, there's retcons and everything. You know, in Scream, they might retcon Stu's death.
We clarified that this is my first one-on-one appearance.
So I remember you said a while ago on one of the shows that women would just throw themselves at you when you were in a band, and I'm able to understand because
I don't know if I said it just like that, but it's a lot. It's pretty easy.
That's the PG-13 way.
Yeah, when you're so you're young 20s, like I'm 6 foot, I had long hair, blue eyes, there's blonde, nice, very luscious hair, and then you play live in front of like, you know, a couple hundred people. Yeah, there's a good chance there might be a woman in the audience who's down. So yeah, it wasn't that hard. It was not difficult. Because that musician thing is still a thing to this day. I think it just more leans towards stupid shit like DJs.
Yeah, women see how good you are with your freaking fingers, and then that just for some reason when they're drinking entices them into sexual arousal for some shit. And it means that if they were a girl that went to church on Sunday to get on her knees for Jesus, she's definitely going to be getting on her knees for you. Just saying.
Oh, you know. Definitely hooked up with many a church girl. Like they're just like, oh yeah, I gotta get up early for church, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go, you know, do I can't say the stuff I was doing, but it's like I'm gonna go drink and possibly do other things with my friends right now. You can wake up later and leave. And so yeah, there was a lot of that going on.
I don't understand. That was back in your day. How old were you then? Because you're like 36 now, right?
Yeah, so like I was 20 to 22-ish.
So that was probably what, 2008, roughly?
2009 through like 2012-ish, give or take.
So this notion, this narrative that women back in the day, even just early as that, were these saints and angels that were not these sexual deviants they are now. That's just I don't get why people try to rewrite history so much. Like,
it's not that it's that they just didn't have as much access to be out there as much as they could.
Yeah, like, I've always heard these stories. That you said from band. I've heard these stories for years, and apparently, because they weren't on the internet, apparently they never happened, and we must subconsciously tell ourselves that.
Well, the problem is like when they were on the internet, but that was around like the MySpace days, and like. Some of this other stuff was just kicking off. Some of these other platforms that people like Facebook and stuff like that was just coming out. Instagram, I think like Vine was the big one at the time. I don't know if there was a messaging feature on Vine because I never used it, but there's stuff that people still use now, like Snapchat. So it's like there's a bunch of lewd shit going on. And it's like it was still happening. I mean, dude, you can even hear stories from like the 70s and 80s where it's like fucking women would they would mail Polaroids to the guy that they like with nude shots. It's like, hey man, you're getting snail mail like 3 weeks later of like
Hugh Hefner made his
titty
name.
shots. Yeah,
Hugh Hefner, the guy that's famous for Playboy and all that stuff, made his name by monetizing half-naked women on magazines. I just don't get this narrative that women were more pure and not this way back then. That's just not true. I just don't know where that comes from.
You'd have to go back to like the 40s and 50s, like 40s to 60s, and even then, I think is when like the feminist movement and all that stuff was happening. So that's the thing that really started to kick it into higher gear was the feminist movement stuff, and that's like first wave feminists. We're on like fourth wave feminist bullshit now because even third wave was fucking psychotic, and now fourth wave is like. They're almost starting to regress and they're starting to realize like, holy shit, work sucks. I wish we could go back. Like that's almost like fourth wave feminism is actually starting to regress. It's kind of funny to see in real time.
It's actually so disgusting that women themselves will know all of these things and then still perpetuate this narrative that no, it's just only women from this era that are like that. My generation wasn't like that at all. That's just not true.
Maybe like you were like that. I mean, you see it all the time. You see it all the time. Even like, and I don't know, name some of your favorite YouTube women. There's probably not many of them, but they all have a backstory that's just like, I used to be like that, and now I found Jesus or some shit. And you're like, you're still kind of like that. If you find the right guy, you're absolutely like
Yeah,
that.
or
Shut the fuck up.
or they'll say this thing and it will go like this, everyone. I have a past and you shouldn't judge me for it. That automatically tells me you've been ran through. Anytime a girl says that, that's ran through. Come on. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, absolutely. That or they're still getting ran through and they just don't tell people about it anymore. They're like, I learned my lesson about telling people about it because that backfired and somebody used it against me. It's kind of like it's almost like it's almost like the same notion of like when women tried to tell men to be vulnerable, it's like, just open up about your feelings. Men, do not do that.
That's a trap.
That's a trap.
Anytime
as soon as you say something vulnerable about yourself, it's over.
Yeah,
they're gonna look at you different. It's like, what a weak piece of shit. Like they'll never look at you the same. Don't cry in front of women unless you're at a funeral and it's like somebody extremely important to you, and you got to be like holding a glass of whiskey, having a straight face, and like maybe just a tear, and you're just like gritting your teeth. Like, don't bawl your eyes out, but that's what, hold it in and have a heart attack at 45 like a man. Like,
like that's my thing with women too. It's like, I feel like they always say to do certain things that they themselves would not want you to actually do, and that they would criticize too. My ex-girlfriend said they would not be with the dude if he cried. Straight up, actually, word for word. She said they would see that as weak. So when women say that they want dudes to open up, that's such a lie, because then you're going to say that they're acting feminine. You're not going to want that. So I don't know what women want. Just don't believe them when they're talking. Women talk, don't believe. Automatically shut your ears off.
It's like the whole thing about being like a male feminist. That's just a way to be like, that's a way to get close to you. They're all fucking predators. If you hear a dude say he's a male feminist, run away from that dude. Like that is the sketchiest dude you'll ever find yourself around, and never be alone with that dude. Just don't be around male feminists. Well, to be fair at all. If you're just in a group setting and one says that, like, oh yeah, I'm a male feminist, be like, okay, I'm not hanging out with that guy like ever again if I can help it.
I see pronouns in bio, male feminist, trans flag. I know exactly who to mute and block on Twitter. That's what I do.
You know what? The thing is, what's funny about that is, like, what you're dealing with, who you're dealing with, and how they're going to be. And that also, unless you're going to sit there and censor yourself, and most people online, they kind of do. I mean, if we're on YouTube, you got to kind of walk a line a little bit. But we do that just so we don't get shit taken down. Like, you can curse a little bit, whatever. But if we go hard into some of this stuff, and it's like, no, we're not going to sit there racist and be this, that, or the other. We're just going to sit there and tell you the truth. And apparently the truth is censorable. You just get censored if you really go at it, or your thing will be flagged for hate content or something. It's like, no, I'm not hating on any of this. I'm telling you the truth about this. You do with that information what you will. If you find it to be hateful, that's on you. I find it to be informative. That's the difference.
And what's crazy is, like, a lot of people will tell me that, oh, dude, it's just the women on the internet. They're just like that. I'm telling you guys this right now. Women in real life are like that. The reason why it's not exacerbated to the same degree is because they're not on the internet like that. The reason the internet's been good for most average men to see what the average woman is like. I don't buy for a second that it's only just women on the internet looking for clout e-girl. Everyone knows e-girls are like that. That shouldn't be a new concept anyway. But this notion that just because she's not on the internet, she's not like that, that's just naive. That's just stupid.
One of the last girls that I was like, I took her on a few dates or whatever, and she would kind of run off for a second. I was like, oh man, I wonder if she's like doing coke or whatever. And I was just like, what are you doing when you're leaving? And she was like, oh, I'm doing ketamine. And I was just like, excuse the fuck out of me, like you're just doing what? Like, and she was like, oh no, it helps me mellow out. And I'm like, I don't know, what are you talking about? You realize, like, that's not cool. Like that's not. Like, we can have a few drinks if you want to loosen up that way, but nah, like, don't do that. And it's like, she was my age. Like, I'm 36. She was 36 as well. I think she was actually a month older than me. And it was just like, wow, you're still into this kind of shit. It was like that was the kind of like not ketamine, but other shit. That was my 20s, you know. Like my 20s were for all that. I'm like, dude, I'm on the wrong side of 30. I'm not trying to get blitzed out of my mind anymore. Like if I go to a cool party, like out in Florida, I'll probably be a little bit too drunk. Like I'll probably have that extra drink that I normally wouldn't have when I'm out here. Like just because I'm out there I'm going for a party time. I'm going for vacation. Let me go on vacation. Catch me on Friday, Saturday nights. Even last year, there'd be times where I was streaming and I was just like drinking like vodka and soda, and I would just drink too much of it, and I would get in like I even got the nickname Slurfax, which I already have kind of a lisp because I got like gaps in my teeth, so I kind of already have a lisp. You give me a little liquored up and it's way the fuck worse. So I was like, well, I gotta stop with the hard liquor. So I switched to like cheap beer, and I'm like, yeah, I can get a good buzz off this and still chill and drink for the most part. But yeah, no, I can't even mess with that shit anymore. So when people are still my age and still going stupidly hard with a bunch of shit that I didn't even mess with in my 20s, I'm like, dude, hell no. Got to get away from these people.
Yeah.
And if you're out here in California, they're everywhere. That's the problem. It's just it's
hard actually not to be addicted to drugs and all this shit. How like it's so hard not to. Yeah.
Yeah, growing up is realizing that 90% of the people you run into are on cocaine. And that's not even hyperbole. That's just facts. Like everybody does it.
I was told people back in the day that they were all saints and angels. They did no bad things. I was told
no, they're all everyone's great. Everything's fine.
It's only just the nowadays people that are bad. Not people.
You definitely can't run into random, I don't know, dive bars and people will just randomly offer you bumps of either cocaine or meth just because you sat at the bar next to them. That definitely doesn't happen. It never happens, MSK. You understand? It just never happens.
Do you know what also never happened? Girls leaving their drinks around and guys roofie them. Never happened. It only happened nowadays.
Fake news.
Yeah. I literally will never understand how the average woman is this stupid. I just don't get it. And then guys are worse. I will say this. I shit on women all the time because they're actually stupid. I think guys are worse. The only way feminism even got to that fourth wave, like you said, weak men allowed it. Like men, the reason why I'm going to tell you guys men allowed it, men have the monopoly on force and how to push things through. We all do. The only way it was allowed to happen because weak men were in positions of power and caved into women, which is awful. And now we're in this spot where fucking hell, Pam Bondi. Look at what she was. She's a horrible person.
Well, they were doing that, and then the other thing was the big push. The one that really sent it over the edge was the Believe All Women thing that happened in Hollywood.
The Me Too movement.
That pushed it over, and then that gave them free reign for like, I don't know, 5 years, give or take 5 years of just slandering any type of man that was in any type of power, and every man just backed the fuck off. They were just like, you know what? If this is what's going to happen, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to stop talking to women. I'm going to stop hanging around. And then women now, what do you see them complaining? Where are all the men? Where are they? Yeah, we're at home chilling, not getting in fucking trouble with your dumbass because you're trouble.
Yeah, you know what's crazy?
Like, don't you want to go get laid? It's like, I mean, I guess I could say I miss doing that a little bit more often, but it's like the risk isn't worth the reward anymore. Like, it's just not worth it. Like, men are logical. We don't deal with we don't really we don't go with emotion. We're just like, nah, logically this is a dumb idea. And what's funny about that is when you're younger, you do the whole like, hey, men don't live as long because we'll do dumb shit, but we've already calculated that risk and we realize the reward is worth it. Because more likely it's probably because you're trying to show off. It's like, why did that guy do that dumbass thing? Well, at the time he thought he could make it. Like, he's gonna take that dirt bike jump and he's gonna try to do a Superman off of it. He's probably gonna cripple himself for life. But if he nailed it though, he's a fucking legend, right? Like, men calculated that risk, but yeah.
And the pendulum swinging, right? So what I was told was that it was men's fault that marriages failed because they wanted to go get hot wives and divorce their wives. Well, that's not how the system works. The reason why I've always told you guys marriage is bad for you is because people say sign a prenup. Okay, outside of that, the reason why most guys don't sign prenups is because they think in their brains it's gonna last forever because the whole till death do us part. So you're not thinking of signing a prenup because you think this is the girl for you. Then you're gonna get divorced from her. You have to give her half of your shit because if she doesn't work, you bring in the most money. It goes off whoever makes the most money.
Well,
you give her half your shit.
Yeah,
and alimony.
What's worse is, so like, to say out here in like California, right? For us to like achieve that level of success, to be able to maybe have like a trad wife, which a trad wife would be probably considered a stay-at-home wife, right? That would be more than likely what you would consider it.
Yeah,
and that would be great, like a housewife, whatever. To make that kind of money, and then you divorce somewhere out here in like California, even if you have a prenup, a lot of those don't hold up because there's a lot of bullshit that they can do to get around it. And and that happens with a lot of, it's usually a lot of blue states. But at the same time, because men have become giant pussies out here, there are a lot of men who don't work, and their wives are the breadwinners, and yeah, they'll get half of stuff, like, and the woman has to pay them. And I find that I find it bullshit both ways. If you guys split up, you're on your fucking own. You know what? If there was something that you guys bought together, or the man was taking care of everything, it's like, here's like 20%, get back on your feet, and then go achieve whatever. But at the same time, like, if you're a stay-at-home wife, unless you have like a bunch of kids, or maybe like, I guess even one kid. If you have no kids and you're a stay-at-home wife, you should be taking time to learn skills, do something. Like
something.
Working out every day only takes an hour. You don't got to be working out for 8 hours. You have like 9 to 10 other hours, and if your man's a blue collar guy, he's probably out for 12 hours a day. You have like 11 hours of free time to learn all sorts of cool new shit. You should be, I don't know, hireable if all of a sudden you get a divorce. That's what I'm saying when it comes to that.
No, because my thing is now with the pendulum swinging to that, like you said, because keep in mind, I remember when it was becoming a popular thing for the woman to work and the man to stay at home. The reason why I never liked that as a concept is because now the woman knows she can't divorce that guy because you make more money than him. You're gonna have to give him alimony or half your shit. So she could literally just straight up, honestly, because and the guy in the scenario has no job. What's to stop her from cheating on you? Keep in mind, what are you gonna do? You're gonna leave her? That's not happening. You have
dude, I'll see horror stories on freaking X all the time, and like, I don't know how true they are because they're usually posted from Reddit, which they might be true. Maybe it just, I mean, sure, it's only one guy here, one guy there, but it's like the fact that this is even a possibility.
And it starts to become more of a possibility when it's like 20 of them. It's like, okay, once or twice is whatever, but you see them so much, it's like this has to be happening.
Yeah, when it's like every day you can just scroll through and you're like, oh god, another one, another one. And it's like it's this bitch made culture of just I don't know, men don't know how to be men anymore. It's like, how many women do you even know like who can even swing a hammer properly? Most of them can't.
Women wanted it that way. They wanted it.
They thought they did.
Because they wanted men and women to be equal. And it's like, we're not, though. We're just not. But that's what women wanted. When women wanted men at home to talk on their feelings, scrolling up and down on TikTok and tweet all day. And then they're gonna say, where's all the good men at? That's what you wanted.
Well, what's funny when they talk about equal pay and stuff, like they're usually comparing like office type jobs, right? But it's usually, the secretary's not as paid as much as the guy who has a law fucking degree. Like, just because you're in the same office building, you're not going to get paid as much as that guy. And it works vice versa. But it's like, it's very, very rarely compared at like people at the same exact level with the same exact experience. You never really get to see those comparisons. Because say you go work at a freaking McDonald's and you hire a dude and a female, you hire both of them. They're both starting at fucking minimum wage. Like, you're not getting more just because you're a dude. Just because you can lift the fries a little bit faster than they can, like, you're not getting paid more for that. You go to like a blue collar job, something like I do, like you're working construction, you're lifting couple 100-pound freaking water heaters around, you're moving those. I don't expect a woman to do that, but at the same time, I would hope she's not getting paid as much as me because she can't fucking actually do that shit. I even have dudes that are smaller than me that can't move some of the stuff that I have to move. They'll ask me, like, even just because I'm taller than them, I have to reach stuff that they can't reach. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. It's not a big deal. Just it's fine. But if it was just a warehouse of women, like there's going to be a lot of shit that's not getting done just because they physically can't. And I wouldn't expect you to want to pay them as much because they're not getting the job done.
And that's
Now, when
what
it
they
comes to
wanted
like
with,
technical stuff,
yeah.
electricians, stuff like that, depending on the kind of electrician work, like technical stuff, a lot of women are actually pretty damn good at that stuff. When it comes to like detailed stuff and more of the finer stuff, sure. And then you pay somebody for their technicality and their technical craft, but they still might
They
need a
want
dude
hard
to
labor jobs. They're
well,
talking
yeah,
about like
you're not gonna like you can even go on like Instagram and like I find it all the time because
mhm,
when I see people doing construction jobs and stuff and people
mhm,
are doing a good job, I like to watch those videos. So then it curates your feed to see more of those type of videos. And every now and then you find a chick who's doing it and you're like, hey, that's cool. Let's see what she does. Usually they're always an electrician. It's pretty much always an electrician. And then there's like one random like mechanic chick.
mhm.
That's it, and maybe they're doing a little bit of the hard stuff here or there, but it's usually electricians. And you never see them like holding the big bales of wire. Like I remember I had to help a lineman one time. If you know what a lineman was, he's the guy who does the telephone lines and shit.
Mhm. Yeah.
They cut down a whole line, and my boss was like, "Hey man, help them roll that up and take it." By the time I rolled like 20 freaking feet of that shit, it was like a couple 100 pounds. And I was like, I didn't know that. Like, cause they're way up in the air. You don't really expect it or think about it. And by the time I'm like halfway rolling it, I'm sweating my ass off. And I'm like, I was able to move it, but I was like, dude, this is brutal. I can't imagine. And I'm 6'2" at the time. I was like 210, 215. And I'm like, I'm lugging that shit like a freaking, like a fireman out of a fire kind of thing. But it's all rolled in a bundle. And I'm sitting there dying about it. And I'm like, holy crap, dude. Like, and it's like at the time I was mixing concrete by hand every day. And so I was like in way better shape than I am now. I don't think I could probably, I mean, I could do one or two and I'd be like, no, I'm good.
And you know what's
But yeah, a
crazy
little
is
110-pound girl, that's not happening.
I just find women to be super ungrateful though. Yeah, I'll tell people right now, were there bad men who beat their wives? Yes.
Of
No
course.
one is saying everyone was perfect, because even just thinking that is illogically stupid. Yes, any of those guys, whoever did do that to their wives, no, they're always what was the thing people on Twitter used to do? I disavow, I disassociate, all that stuff. No one likes that. That's still not a like thing to beat your fucking significant other. It's never been a like thing, never been a love thing at all. Yes, there were some bad guys out there. But this thing that women get, I call so ungrateful. Like men are, like you said, you do construction. Men want and do all this crazy shit, building skyscrapers, construction, steel, plumbing, everything, all done by men. You know those crazy guys? They're happy to do it. Do you know why? It's all for women. All that stuff is for you. So what do you have to do? Sit at home and take care of the kids? I'm not saying it's easy, that it's hard. And keep in mind, some women don't even have kids, like you said, don't even have kids. So I find it super disrespectful and annoying that women just think that men are doing all this stuff for their own benefit. No, going to do a construction, destroying my body is not for myself. It's for money, obviously.
I'm destroying my physical and sometimes mental health, and because you're also, you're putting in even on a low day, you're doing 9 hours. That's still an hour longer than a regular 8 hour shift.
Right.
But usually you're working any blue collar thing, you're doing 12, and then on really bad
Commuting
weeks and
back and
stuff, you're doing
forth.
16.
Yeah.
Or sometimes some of these jobs they demand you do 16. Like say like oil riggers and stuff. You go on for like I believe it's either 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, or it's 3 weeks on, 1 week off, something like that. You do these things, and now you're gone from even your home that you're paying for 3 weeks out of the month. And you only get to enjoy the house you're paying for 1 week out of the month because you're off on an oil rig with a shitty cot or whatever. These people do it all the time.
And also, when women talk about protection, like, what is the number one thing I've always seen women mention when it comes to getting a guy? They want a guy to protect them. How is your guy not protecting you when he's going to work every day and providing a roof over your head and paying all your bills? Isn't that what you want? Like I just find it so disrespectful when a girl goes, you know what? You're not doing enough. What do you mean you're not doing enough? What are you talking about? It's the problem is women are super ungrateful because they were always told they need to be princesses and have the best shit. It's like, well, if that's not good enough for you, then what is going to be good enough for you then? If someone doing all that for you is not princess treatment, then what is then? You know?
To be fair, if they were raised by a guy who raised them right, that guy probably told them, you need to find a guy probably like me, their dad, if their dad raised them right, who will do that for you, right? So they're ingrained in their head, yeah, the princess treatment because their dad probably treated them like a princess, hopefully. And that's why, you know, most men like me or whatever find the broken ones. And you find them at metal shows on Sunset and like you go have fun that way. Is yeah, they're usually not they're usually a little messed up in some way. They definitely come from broken homes. There's plenty of those out there too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's the balance you got to put up with though. It's like, okay, do you want the prim and proper princess who may or may not cheat on you, or do you want like the rogue kind of insane chick who's probably not going to cheat on you, but she might stab you if you look at a woman.
You never know these days, dude. If you read that 10Z situation, you would never know about these girls. Okay, before we get to that one, this other notion I'll bring up with women. Okay, so women are out there and they're always, I don't know, what's the best way of putting it? They want, okay, they say they're not gold diggers. Okay, fair enough. Watch you get divorced to them and see how much they're going to act like they deserve from you. They're not a gold digger, right? Okay, let me keep all my shit then. No, wait, that's mine. See, I'm just way out.
Yeah, there's even a better difference in that is like guys will just date a cute chick even if she works at a fucking McDonald's. Women won't. Women won't date the cute guy or the good-looking guy if he like it could be like, I mean, unless he's like some type of freaking like just a freaking model who's probably just dumb as shit working at a freaking McDonald's. But you never see the girl who's making really good money dating that far down. Men will do it left and right. They'll go and be like, you know what? They could be a dude in a suit, like a lawyer making 200 grand, 250, 500, whatever he's making. And he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to have McDonald's. I haven't had a minute. And there's just a cute girl in there, you know, she could be whatever. And he's just like, hey, you want to go on a date sometime? That guy will ask that girl on a date. Yeah. A woman would never even fucking look at you.
Women are always trying to date up.
Look at you.
A lot of guys don't think this. And people keep saying that's not the average woman. If you are so oblivious, if you are so oblivious to reality, I honestly can't help you. If you are that retarded and you are that naive, you are that oblivious, nothing I'm going to say is going to convince you. I will just say this. You know what? Try this basic thought exercise, everyone. Everyone's heard this, so I know I'm not saying anything incorrect. Women will always say, I want a guy who's nice and will give me all this time and attention. Cool. Go to your local Starbucks right now, probably across the street from where you live. Talk to that barista. He'll give you all his time and attention, and he's probably broke as hell. They don't want that. There's plenty of nice guys around because they're always going to say, I want a nice guy. They exist. They're right there. They don't want that. It's just a lie. I don't know why they keep saying it. It's a lie. Why they keep bringing up, fuck me if I know. Because women have, dude, last night I was told women don't have many options like us. Women on average will have more options than us. It's just because,
they just open up it like that. I mean, they've done these experiments plenty of times when you go with like, and even women have done this, and I've respected the women that have done this and thrown this out there, where they'll make like a Tinder account, and so they'll do their Tinder account, and then they'll make one for their guy friend, and they're like, oh yeah, he's cute, he's a nice guy, he's the nicest guy I know, and then they'll go around just liking all the girls they think that he would like, and he gets like 2-3 responses. Hers is like, you know, it has a plus sign on it because the number doesn't go that fucking high. You know, it's just like there's no fucking comparison. It's not even close. It's not even close. Like that. they got hundreds and thousands of options. Men have maybe 10 or 20.
The average guy probably maybe has, if we're being generous, maybe has like 2 or 3. And only if you're good looking. People keep saying, well, how do guys get more options? The only way to get more options as a guy is if you have money, you have a good job, and you have to get some sort of status, some sort of money or status.
It's either money, you got to be working out, you got to be in good shape.
That can work, yeah.
Like it used to be having a nice car, but like getting a nice car is not that hard anymore. So it's like you have
to have some sort of status, like you're a boss, something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, I know plenty of dudes who are broke as shit, but they're in really good shape. They do just fine. Like they're in good shape. So they're just, they got the pics with the 6-pack or whatever. And I'm like, I don't got that, but I'm like I've said before, I'm 6 foot, blonde eye or a blue eye, blonde hair. I'm in okay shape. I'm a decent sized dude. And it's like, I don't know, I've probably got 15, 20 matches on fucking Tinder right now. And I'm like, yeah, I can message whoever. Remember, but it's like, that's not bad. That's not bad. Most dudes don't even get that. So I'm
remember the girl that created her Hinge account? There was this lady that created her Hinge account, and then she had like 100 guys hitting her up. Like it was like 60 to 100 dudes trying to hit her up. Like also people say go on dating apps. Go on dating apps is even worse for men. The chances of you actually matching with someone,
it's awful.
It's horrible. People say go on Tinder. I've never matched with someone on Tinder ever. It's never happened. Like all dating apps are garbage. And now they're all with like AI bots and scams and all that shit. It's horrible. So like I always ask people this: what's the difference between an OnlyFans chick and a woman who only marries a guy for money?
Dude, I almost got like I felt like I was gonna get robbed by this Russian chick who I went on a date with, because like we matched on I think it was the Facebook dating one, and I was like, all right, she's not too far from me. Fuck it, we'll meet up for coffee. We go there. She barely speaks English or whatever, and like she's being super sketchy the whole time. And I was like, I feel like I'm about to get robbed, because she like there's no real connection. And I was trying to ask her about her past. She wouldn't talk to me about anything. And I was like, this is the sketchiest fucking date I've ever been on. So what I started to do is I just started talking about 2A, like the 2A amendment, just to see what she would do. And so I was like, oh, you know about guns? Like, I'm really into guns. Like, I'm not, I actually don't care. I just wanted to see how she would react, just because I thought it'd be funny. And she was like, it almost looked like she was just trying to be like, oh shit, we don't fuck with this guy. And I was like, cool, I'm going to pay for this and I'm going to fucking leave. And so I bounced out of there, but I kept looking in my rear view to see if I was getting followed by some random Russian dudes trying to rob me. Cause I was like, this is a sketchy, like it felt like it was in a bad movie. And and it's like, I wasn't drinking, I was sober, and I was just like hyper aware, because I was like, this is the weirdest shit. I've been on, I don't know, I don't want to say hundreds of dates, but it's like I've been on a lot. It's fine. Never anything like this before. And I was just like, I feel like I'm gonna get robbed tonight. This is really fucking sketchy. I even hit up my friend to be like, dude, you need to come follow me back, because this is something's not right here, dude. So everything is wrong tonight.
Yeah, and now it was crazy. You know what's crazy about all this, guys? Women know this. Women know they have more options. Women know the game. And I will just say this: women are looking at a chessboard and going, what's the best thing I can do? I can marry a rich guy or get with a guy. He can build up my social media presence, and then I'll leave him for a different guy, which literally was a big story with Tens and this other girl that just happened. A girl quite literally used a guy to build her social clout and then left him after he nursed her through cancer by supporting her financially and being with him for years. That just happened.
Oh, was it that black chick? I just saw that. Was it? Because I saw a video. That was a different one on a talk show, right?
Yeah, that was another one. Like, I was gonna say,
she was like, "Oh, he hasn't been taking me on dates, but he just got done nursing me through recovery for the last year and a half." And like, I think it might have been like Steve Harvey or something. He's just
it was that one. Yeah,
he was just looking around like, "Excuse the fuck out of me!" Like that guy just did what for you, and you're mad about not getting taken out to
women always say
the steakhouse.
Women always say, I want my guy's attention, all my guy's attention. You know what's crazy? Because girls like that will always go, I want to find, like, well, what's that line that would say? I have to find myself. Okay, I will just say this. If a girl has to say she has to find herself after you paid all her bills, nursed her through horrible health conditions she has, if someone is not I would just say, if that's not good enough for you, if that doesn't show you that that man is good for you, what is gonna help you then? Like, I don't know what is good enough for, you know, women these days. I don't know, because if all that's not good enough, then, well, fucking hell, women, you guys got to just know what the game is, and definitely don't play that shit. You know. Also, on a chessboard, keep in mind, women go, you know what? I'm gonna sell pictures of my hairy asshole on OnlyFans for $9.99, or I can just marry a rich guy and give him, and just only use him for money. Absolutely insane. Gray has been on 33. What the heck?
It's guys, it's a joke title. This is the first one-on-one with just me and him. We're just talking and hearing a little bit more of my backstory, because when I first joined on, it was a group chat. Like, it was a group hangout.
These guys are always doing that. Technically, it's like, oh, I'm not doing it. They're trying to bait me. It's actually just, oh, whatever. Herman, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? It's weird, because women that only marry guys for money will dog on an OnlyFans chick. At least an OnlyFans chick is being upfront. They're just selling pictures of their hairy asshole bleached for $9.99. You married someone you don't love for money. I'm pretty sure that's worse. Pretending to love a guy for money, then you're gonna leave him. That's, in my opinion, a little worse. But,
well, the funniest comeback, and I mean, I've seen a bunch of people use it, but it's absolutely fucking true, which is like when women are like, I know what I'm worth, and it's like, apparently you're worth less than like a Jack in the Box meal, because I can see you naked for $7, and a meal at Jack in the Box is like $12. So like you're worth $5 less than a cheeseburger meal at Jack in the Box. Like, that's
hey, let's
what you're worth.
Jack in the Box tacos. Them shits is amazing. Come on.
Those are the tacos. Those are two for $1. Right. So like, to get like the ultimate cheeseburger, some curly fries, and a drink, you're looking at $10-12. Their OnlyFans is only like $7. So yeah, I can see you naked for less money. Like, and also I'll get more satisfaction from the cheeseburger. So I'm taking that.
Oh my God. And it's just odd, because keep in mind, women also don't want to be moms, because the abortion rates have skyrocketed. The most aborted babies, black kids. So women don't want to be moms. That's just, if anyone disagrees with that, I know you're stupid. It's a factual truth. Abortion is quite literally abortion kills more people than guns and cars. So women don't want to be moms.
I think they said it's up to like 80 million now.
So women don't want to be moms anymore. That's just fucking insane. But we knew that, though, because remember,
well, they'll accept 20 million illegal migrants, but they won't accept 80 million of their own children. So, you know, that's what some of these women are.
Isn't that a real genocide right there? I don't know.
They don't want their own. They literally want others. It's crazy.
They don't want to be married either, because 70%.
Which party is super for that, and which party, or what do women technically usually always vote for? What is their highest percentage? It's almost like these numbers coincide. It's almost like there's a pattern here. It's so weird.
Yeah, women vote for whoever will allow them to be the biggest whore, because they're always single issue voters. They're always, the biggest thing on women's minds always for a candidate, I've always heard this, is abortion. That's it. Everything else doesn't matter. Literally, our whole society could collapse tomorrow, and they would go, who's the let me get nutted in the most? What? What? I hate women.
It's also, it goes back to the whole accountability thing, and whatever. It's funny, because it's like, you never hear women being like, I'm gonna step up and take care of this child. It's always you need the man to step up and do it, right? But he has no say in it, which is odd. And then he's the bum ass motherfucker if he walks out. But if you go and get an abortion, you're the hero. Like, you did the right thing. What like, where does the insanity end with this? Like, there needs to be some type of balance, and it's very not balanced.
The pendulum swung the other way. That's what women wanted. The pendulum swung the other way with the way that they wanted society to look like. They want people to be emotionally attached to their phones, tweeting all day and scrolling on TikTok and going to therapists talking about their feelings. And then they're going to say, where's all the good men at? You guys see those videos of those older women saying, why don't men approach me anymore? But you didn't want those. Well, first of all, you didn't want those guys in general. I still don't believe you want those guys. And second of all, you want those guys to be at home raising the kids. Of course, they're not going to be outside. Like I just don't get people. They ask for these things, get these things, and they go, I don't want. I'm mad at these things happening. Utterly disgusting. Oh, so moving off women for a moment. The MCU, Brand New Day and Doomsday's coming up. Because I didn't get a chance to ask you this about Brand New Day. Are you excited for Brand New Day coming up?
I'm not excited about either one of them, really. Is
okay.
Just because, I mean, Doomsday is obviously just like, it's like a last minute cash grab. I actually kind of know a bunch of the behind the scenes stuff and actually kind of know most of the story because I do have friends that are in Marvel that work at Marvel and everything. So we've heard a lot about what's going on with it. We know most of the story, how it plays out, what happens. A lot of the stuff that like Gary and Chris Gore are saying is true because some of my sources are the same as like Chris Gore's because we just know the same people. So a lot of that stuff is true. If you've heard any of their podcasts and stuff about it, or their live streams about it, I should say. They don't really do podcasting, I would say. But so Doomsday, not looking forward to. Brand New Day, I don't know. That one could be okay. Because most of Spider-Man stuff seems to do all right. But I don't know. That one I'm gonna have to wait for a trailer for to like hear more about because that one actually comes out sooner, even though originally it was scheduled to come out after. So they definitely had to rewrite some stuff because they were gonna play into it.
Oh,
so
earlier
now they got
to come out. It was supposed to come out in January or February.
Well,
yeah.
No. Like, no. Doomsday was supposed to come out in May, and then
you're right. My bad.
Brand New Day, I think, was the end of June or early July, something like that. So they had like 2 months. There was going to be like a 2-month difference, and it was going to lead into that. But I mean, I kind of knew they were going to push that shit back once they announced they have like 40 freaking cast members, and each one of those has powers. And even if they're in there for just a minute, I mean, just look at any of the Marvel movies. They only have 3 to 5 characters for the most part, other than the big ones like Infinity War and Avengers, or any of the Avengers stuff is always like big cast. So you need all this time to edit all these characters, all these powers, all this whatever. And they get it done, but it takes a fucking minute, man. So when they're like, "Oh, we'll have it done in a year," it's like bullshit. All you see is all this stuff about how all these people are overworked. They're doing 80 hours a week. They're doing this, that, the other. They're complaining about not getting enough time. They gotta subsidize some stuff to different studios, and it's like, of course, it's gonna get pushed back. I would still be surprised that when we get the final product, if it's still not like a bunch of janky CGI in it.
Oh, for
sure. Just like because the editing in it is going to be fucking awful. Like the amount of cuts that they need to do, you have to deal with so many characters. It's going to be all over the place. And like the first rumor it's over 3 hours. It's like 3 hours, and I think 40 minutes was the original. They're
gonna have
time
to cut
that they threw
down.
out there. Yeah.
Good Lord. Yeah, they're gonna have to cut that down because it wasn't Endgame like exactly 3 hours when you factor in like the promo, the 15 minutes of previews and everything and credits. It had to have been almost 3 hours long. Because I remember the original runtime that they had on my theater screen was like 2 hours and 40 some minutes. Like fucking hell.
Well, I mean, the only movie I'd go to the theater for that's 4 hours is Lord of the Rings Extended Edition. They re-released that out here again. I'll go to that. I can sit through that, no problem. Yeah, but you're looking at a 3-hour, 40-minute movie, give or take, and that's with what's kind of out in the zeitgeist right now. You throw in a 30-minute preview, and you're looking at over 4 hours. You need to go spend 4 hours at a movie theater for probably a pretty mediocre movie that's going to make fucking no sense, has no build up. What's up, Laps?
Oh, what's up, Doc? How you doing, man? Like the thing with Doomsday is this movie it's so weird. This is the first Avengers movie that has, I would say, significantly less hype going into it than the other 4. Like somewhere in me, it feels like, I don't know, which one do you think has more artificial hype pumped into it, Supergirl or Doomsday? Because I would say Supergirl has a little bit more artificial hype pumped into it as far as like what happens on Twitter and other social media platforms.
Artificial hype? I would say there's pretty much no hype for Supergirl at all, though. Like I haven't seen anybody try to hype that up, and because that first trailer was it's not great. And you know, everyone's making the comments, hey, it looks like a James Gunn movie, even though apparently it's not written by him and it's not directed by him. Well, yeah, exactly. The two main things that should do that, but it sounds like he gave them all the notes that are his notes, because it looks like a fucking Guardians movie, which is what James Gunn has been doing for the last 7 years. Just Guardians adjacent stuff. They all look like Guardians. All the movies seem like Guardians. The jokes seem like Guardians. And it's like, even the Guardians movies started to go downhill after the first one. So
yeah, the second one's not as good as the first one.
No, and the third one was okay, but it's because it like tugs on your heartstrings a little bit, you know. So you're like, I'm a little sympathetic, but then they mess up characters like Adam Warlock. So it's like, okay, well, they messed this shit up. But then they do okay with that.
His
best first Guardians movie is Guardians 1.
I think his best superhero movie he ever did was Suicide Squad and Guardians 1. Those are his best two.
So Guardians 1 for sure. Suicide Squad was pretty fun. Like I enjoyed that one, but even like if I look at it like analytically and stuff and really looking at it, I'm like, there's a lot wrong with it, but I enjoy it because it's fun. That's the other thing that I wish more movies would come back to, is simply just that's kind of also why I stopped reviewing movies. It's because they just weren't fun to even watch. Why am I going to make a review on something I didn't even have fun with? Like, even if it's something super bad, I can have fun ripping it apart. That's so much more fun. But it's like, for the last 6 months, I've seen nothing but mediocre movies, to the point where I'm like, I'm sure I have a couple bad things to say, and there's like one good thing, but I was just bored out of my fucking mind. Do you want like 18 reviews? Because I go to the movies every week. You want a review every week of me just saying this was mediocre? Because that's what it would have been for the last like 4 months.
That's what happened
just
for
me saying that.
Yeah.
And I was I was like, I can't do this. Like, I'm not going to do that. It's boring. I'm not having fun with it. And so I was like, okay, let me do that. Plus, my computer has been giving out on me. So I'm like, well, it gives me another excuse.
Yeah, like I remember
waiting for some good movies again.
Like I remember,
Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Go see that.
Like I remember these last 4 years, outside of the few hidden gems here and there, a lot of the movies that I watched were not good. Like, and not even just not good, just straight up forgettable. You would have to actually ask me what I remembered in them. You know, like ones that really stuck out that were really bad were the Halloween ones. Those were really bad, so they stuck out obviously more in my head because I really like Halloween, even the good and bad movies in them. But it's that's a problem with a lot, like a good amount of the movies now, is like you have a good amount of them that are just blatantly forgettable, and they're just written so bad, they're not good. And then you have like they're and the other half, it's like, okay, so if you've seen this many not good ones in a row, and then you go and see good ones, your brain is just starting, to get off balance with like, what the fuck is going on here? I would argue a person is going to end up watching more bad movies than good movies these days coming up. It just by the sheer amount that they're putting out. Or this other movie coming up named Solo Mio that Nate is going to end up watching. The whole movie is in the trailer. The whole movie is there. The entire thing.
Yeah, that's the other thing they've needed to pull back on a lot, is the way too many trailers before a movie releases, like doing too many of them, and or not not releasing so much of it in just one fucking trailer. Like 3-minute trailers, sure, it's cool because it feels like you're like, hey, this is a cool watch, I'm gonna actually spend some time watching this. But yeah, they give away way too much. And when you can put together the whole movie by watching even a trailer or two, that's not a good look.
Just watch the Solo Mio trailer. Watch Solo Mio, and you guys tell me if that's not the whole movie there. Also, one of the worst, Blue Beetle did it. Remember the Blue Beetle second trailer after the George Lopez called him a fascist? That Blue Beetle trailer was 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You need 2 minutes and 30 seconds for that? Oh, that's the what? You might just reveal the fucking whole thing at that point. What the hell?
Well, I remember I remember looking back and just one of the worst ones was like the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Like in the
Oh,
trailer,
yeah.
it shows Spider-Man hitting Rhino with the thing or with the sewer grate. The sewer lid or
Yeah.
whatever. And that's the literal last shot of the movie. It's the last scene of the movie, and
That's
they
how you knew
threw
they knew
that in
that
the
movie was bad.
trailer.
They knew that
And
shit
it's
was
like,
awful,
dude,
yeah.
you threw that in your trailer. What are you doing?
Oh, the worst one was Wonder Woman 84. Like the first Wonder Woman 84 trailer wasn't that bad. And then you get the second trailer, you're like, this is kind of odd. And then the movie came out, you're like, they revealed everything in those trailers too. And that movie just ended up being just a complete dumpster fire. Holy shit. Remember how bad that one was? Holy crap. Good
Yeah,
lord.
they need to go back to when they did like I think it was the Dark Knight trailer was like one of the last really good epic ones that you saw.
Mhm.
Because if you go back and watch those original ones, like the original Dark Knight trailer, it kind of only like the main trailer kind of only deals with like the first third of the movie. That's it. Like there's not there might be a scene or two that are a little bit later on, but it's mainly the first third of the movie, which is like that's and it's enough to know what's going on and to set you up to be like, oh, I want to see where this is going. You shouldn't be able to look at the trailer and be like, I know where it's going, I know where the middle is going to be, and I know it's how it's about to end. Like you
Mhm.
shouldn't know. And so like they did that really well with the Dark Knight.
What did you? Because so I know we talked about Superman before when it was announced that Man of Tomorrow was coming out. How do you think about James Gunn's Superman movie now, looking back on it after like what, about 5-6 months since we've seen it?
Oh, I was already pretty hard on it when it first came
Do you
out.
think it goes down? It goes down in your mind
I
at this
think it
point?
goes even worse because it's like it's not memorable. And I
That's yeah. Mhm.
the other big thing, and I've been saying this about movies for the last couple of years, is none of these movies have rewatchability. Like you're not going to gain anything. You're not missing anything from these movies. You know how many times you could rewatch even The Dark Knight to this day, and you're like, "Wow, I didn't really see that. I didn't really catch that." It's like the last movie, other than I'm going to keep mentioning this movie. It's called Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. It's an indie movie. It's kind of a lot of fun. It's a little ridiculous. It's like trying to figure out what everything is going on. It's fun. I've seen that twice. The last movie I seen more than one time in the theater was Godzilla minus one. I saw that like 4 times in theater, and it was because I saw it 3 times in theater regular, and then they had the minus color one out. And I was like, "This is just a good movie," and I like the epic experience in catching it with an audience. But other than that, I've seen every movie in the last couple of years one time. When Marvel movies used to come out, like Avengers, um, Infinity War, and Endgame, I think I saw each one of those like 4 or 5 times a piece. Like because I wanted to experience it with different audiences and be around the reactions and have a good time. And it's like, even though it look like Endgame doesn't age well, Infinity War, great, fantastic. Endgame doesn't age very well, but at the time, it was cool because that one had a lot of cool fan moments. The story is pretty stupid. So if you think about it,
Yeah.
like the only reason that anything even works is because of a rat. Like the rat literally saves Endgame because the rat knocks over the thing that gets Scott Lang back. That's how the movie starts. Like a rat literally saves the universe.
Well, at
So
least with Endgame, at least like kids are always saying these hype moment, the aura farming hype moments. At least Endgame has big enough hype moments and aura farming to the point where like you're like I remember the story. I remember this moment. It sticks in my brain good enough.
what's it's not even just like aura farming, it's more just like there's payoffs in it that were being paid off throughout the entirety of the
Yes.
Marvel universe.
Mhm.
Like Cap grabbing the or getting the hammer. Like that's a payoff that's been going on since Age of Ultron. So
Mhm.
that was a 9-year payoff, 8-year payoff or something like that. You know, it's like holy shit, like that. Oh, they really did it. That happened in Endgame, but there was awesome moments in like Infinity War, like because it had stakes and you were like holy crap, they it ended on like a sour note in a way, but it was like you wanted more. Endgame, obviously it's like, hey, the end game, obviously the good guys are going to come back and win somehow, but now they're dealing
Yeah.
with time travel. But then you get cool moments like Cap grabbing the hammer. There's a few
The
other ones in
Thanos
it.
moment where they're walking up and it says, "Where did that bring you?" back to me. Gotta admit, that is the best line in the entire movie. That line sticks out to you because you're like, it was dialogued well. The lead up to it was good. He came. What's crazy is he came back to them. They didn't come to him. He actually came back to them. And you go, all right.
The end fight is really stupid because you got a Thanos that hasn't met any of these people yet because he's actually from an earlier timeline. He hasn't met any of the Avengers. So that Thanos doesn't know why he's actually fighting all those ones, other than he got brought there. Like, it's time travel, so that's like an earlier Thanos fighting the older Avengers.
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense. Like, he doesn't know why. He doesn't know why he's fighting all them. Yeah, and the Gamora stuff, like
Gamora.
These timelines don't work.
Self. What's weird is Gamora killed her past self, but then that can't work. If she killed her past self, she wouldn't be alive in the future. That's just basic time travel stuff that's been established in movies forever. If she killed her past self, how would she still be alive though? You know, what the fuck? Crazy shit. But at least in Endgame, there's so many memorable moments. You're like, you know what? Story really wasn't that good, but there's moments there you stick out. I think the problem with movies now is like the memorable moments just they don't stick for some reason. Like, I wanted to love James Gunn's Superman movie. And if I were to get, I don't give grades like that.
I was looking forward to it.
Yeah, I wanted to love it. But I think Superman and Lois just is the best modern adaptation of Superman I've seen live action wise.
Oh, the TV show?
Yeah,
with Tyler Hoechlin.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of good moments. Like, Superman, probably in the same vein, like opposite, but in the same way that like Batman would actually make a way better TV show than it would a movie. Like, because Batman could be dealing with like a villain of the week type of deal. And it could be low level dudes, and then you have like an overarching villain throughout the whole thing. Batman would do really well as a TV show, but they always do stupid shit like Gotham or something, right? They do dumb shit like that when it's like, dude, if you did a Batman TV show and you did it with like, you have an overarching villain that goes through, let's say 10 or 12 episodes, and he's kind of more in the background, but he's dealing with like the lower level thugs. So you can use like C-list, D-list villains through each episode. So your villain of the week, or what they used to do, the monster of the week type of thing. But Batman's going through it, doing detective work. He's putting together all the pieces. Like, the show writes itself. They've already done it. They did it with the Batman animated series for the most part, other than like the overarching thing. They didn't have that. But they would
that's
why
I think
really
Batman could actually benefit from having a TV show, like a longer, like kind of like, think of like The Flash, but like the way that it's structured, like you won't be getting 23 episodes anymore.
Now, Laps is right. Like, I was wondering when you said that, I was like, she didn't kill herself. Like the Gamora from the past came into the
did I say Gamora? Oh my god. I meant Nebula. Was it Nebula that did it?
I don't think Nebula does that either. No, they don't kill well, no, she kills. Yeah, I guess she does kind of like she ends the one.
I had Gamora on my mind. Jesus Christ. It might have been Nebula. My bad. If it was Nebula, my bad. Okay, keep in mind, I usually keep quality cinema in my head, actually. That's my thing. But I don't know what's gonna happen with the DCU because you have Creature Commandos, Superman, Peacemaker Season 2. You didn't like Peacemaker Season 2, did you?
God, no. Fuck no.
And now we're gonna get what? Supergirl, Lanterns, and Clayface. So
Clayface is the only one that I kind of have a little bit of hope for, just because like that's kind of James Gunn's background. I don't know how much he's gonna have to do with that. I don't know if he's writing the script, and I don't think he's directing it. But or isn't it Andy Muschietti that's doing it?
No, that he's gonna be doing Batman. Clayface's director. I'll be honest with you, I don't even know who's directing this movie or writing it. Jesus Christ!
Well, this is the thing. So because like
James Watkins is directing.
Okay, so like Clayface has a chance because it's a really small budget. If I remember right, I believe it's like 50 million,
40 million roughly. Yeah.
But like, oddly enough, body horror, like in horror movies, has been doing really well. Like the movie The Substance, right? I don't know if you saw that. It's an indie. It's an indie movie, and but body horror stuff, it's usually done really cheap or whatever. Now, if you slap a DC logo on it and then do a body horror DC movie, because that's the way to do Clayface, right? Because it's going to be body horror, it's like skin peeling off, and like you could do a lot with it. And you could, if you got a DC budget behind you with their effects and everything, their connections, you could do something pretty interesting and cool with it. I don't know what exactly, because I don't know really much of Clayface's like stories in the books and stuff. I just know, yeah, he can change into anybody. So you could do fun cameos, you could do whatever, you could do a lot of cool stuff with it. You can do interesting stuff with it while doing it low budget. So I think that one has the best chance of making money. Now, is it going to be a good movie? No idea. But I think you could have it.
But based off the budget alone,
just the budget alone, I think that one has probably a better chance of making money than Supergirl does. Because if Superman is barely making over 600, Supergirl's not touching that.
Yeah, because so my thing now is, because people are saying, okay, there's two things to go over. So if people think that Superman's success is going to catapult to Supergirl, where are they getting that from? That's not even a thing for the MCU anymore. You know, like for the MCU originally, one movie success would translate to the other. There's no way of knowing that now, given how the theaters haven't been doing so well, like you said earlier. There's no way of knowing Superman's success, which is not, will translate to Supergirl. There's no way of knowing that. It might actually do worse than Superman, which is the crazy.
It'll more than likely do worse, because also Supergirl's never translated like that. Like, is there any one of her, even just look at her comic books, look at the TV shows, look at whatever, like the closest thing you have to that is the CW audience for Supergirl. Like Supergirl, I think when it originally aired, like the first season, people actually were okay with the CW Supergirl. They actually liked whatever her name was, remember? Like Alyssa.
It was on CBS.
Well, CBS and then CW. Yeah. Well, they all switched over, but it was like I think that was the most popular Supergirl was what's her name? Alyssa Bennett or something like that.
Alyssa Benowitz. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. And it's like they liked the first season, but then it fell into the typical, like once it went to CW, it fell into the typical Arrowverse stuff where like after like with that one, I think even season 2 started going downhill, but at least like the Flash and Arrow for the first 2 or 3 seasons were like actually watchable, even though they'd be like, they recycled the same thing. They're like, we're going to do a different villain. It's going to have the same powers as our protagonist, but he's going to be in a cooler, different suit. Like, what about that? And you're like, okay, whatever. Cause you have fun episodes in between and you like the characters for the most part. Like the actors did a good job, and then it just goes off the rails and goes downhill. But Supergirl, that one went off. I think that one went downhill the fastest, other than maybe Legends of Tomorrow, because I think I tried to watch that and I was like, I don't really care about any of these.
I only ever really, even with Arrow, I tried watching a few episodes of that, but it always felt like they were just trying to make him like Batman, and I wasn't that big into like reading comics or like that stuff back then. I couldn't really have access to them. I was like, this isn't really Oliver. Because like I saw Oliver in the Justice League Unlimited cartoons, like that's not Oliver. Like it always just rubbed me the wrong way. They were making him Batman. So when the Flash came out, I watched that. I always just watched the Flash. And Stargirl I did watch for the first season.
I need to use the bathroom real quick, man. Just like
are you good? Minute.
At least. What's funny, like who's counting all that? I was like, do you have somebody that does that, or do you do it?
I don't do that. People have asked me that. I don't do that. I literally just only looked up like, hey, because someone said you have an IMDb page, and I was like, I do. But for Iron had one.
I remember last year when I was doing your show more often or whatever, and somebody mentioned that, I was like, I'm on IMDb. Why? I was like, what the fuck?
They don't update it as much as they used to. The only episodes that get updated is like me, and they'll put like the most recent. So the most recent episodes will be there, but the most recent episode is gone now. So that's going to be not the same. Good Lord. 1 season. How are we on 1 season? This would be like 2 seasons, actually. Fucking ridiculous, man.
Well, you're on episode 428. You'd probably be on episode like 40. Like, well, I mean, if you go by today's standards of TV shows, you're looking at like 41 because they barely do 10 episodes. If you go by old school, you're looking at 20 episodes, 25. So maybe
I do that for my other show. My other show has that format where it's just 22 episodes. But for me, I don't know. Like, I believe people when they say Arrow was good for the first 2 seasons, because that's what like all CW shows would do. Like, Stargirl was so good for season 1. Season 2 was so unbelievably boring. So
many
bad.
people were saying Stargirl was really good, and then I
Only the first
tried to
season, in my
watch it.
opinion.
I got to about episode 7, and I was like, "This is kind of not good." Like episode 7 of the first season, I fell off for me, and I was like, I've watched the rest of it, but I was like, "This, I don't care for this."
Good lord, man! Season
But
2 is so boring. It is just fuck, man. Holy shit! I don't
what
know
I
what
remember
they're
even
cooking over
watching
there.
what was that show, Titans? Did you ever try
Oh, I never
Titans?
tried that. No, the Starfire thing. It's just
Yeah, the Starfire is like a hooker, like, and like, what's his name? Robin is trying to be badass. I mean, it was like he does like break somebody's arm, and they kind of get a little bit brutal with it. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Let's see what would actually happen if what happened with these people, the way that they fight and some of this stuff, because like even looking at stuff like the X-Men or the way that Batman and all them fight, whatever, it's like these people have, well, Batman doesn't have powers, but it's like the way that these people are throwing down, like these people aren't just walking away with bruises. It's like, no, you're walking away with broken legs, broken arms, broken fingers, your jaw
yeah.
is snapped in half, your teeth are missing. Like, let's see what it would actually look like. And I think that's what they were trying to go for. Like, hey, let's go for let's see what would really happen if someone like this was really hitting you with like a baton while they're flying down a freaking zip line or whatever. Like, yeah, it's gonna knock the shit out of you. You just got hit by a 30-mile-per-hour baton to the face, dude. Yeah, it's gonna rock your shit. Like, let's see what happens. Like so I think that's what they were going for. And it's like, yeah, maybe people don't want to see that. They just prefer to be like, oh no, he's knocked out. Like, you ever seen those Pete, I think it's Pete Holmes skits where he's like, it's like they call him the bad man, where it's like instead of Batman, he's like, it's called Bad Man. You ever seen those skits?
Oh god, it's just so crazy. A lot of these CW shows at this moment in time, there was a random one my brother tried getting me to watch. Full blown, 2 black dudes kissing and having sex. Well, sex and TV. It's like CW was going wild with that LGBTQ stuff.
What was that? Black Lightning?
It was some show. It was like
that's
some
a real
ghetto,
show, by the way.
It was some ghetto version of like Melrose Place. We gotta try to make it in Hollywood, so I have to sleep with this Tyrone looking black dude so he can break my walls so I can get this part in this movie. Disgusting. I was like, this is gross.
Here's your breakout role, boy.
Fuck BBC. Oh god, it was so gay. I'm not even a homosexual. I love women, but that was too gay. That might be too gay for gay people.
Honestly. It's like, you want to try out for BBC? It's like, I thought this was America. And it's like, you know what I mean. Like, oh god.
Yeah, Black Lightning. I never got into that. I heard good only.
It was
first
terrible. The writing in it was fucking awful.
Even the first season?
That was all of it was bad. It was so bad. Like, the acting was just, it was there's people on YouTube who do a better job at like, maybe not with those characters, but just in general, like pretend acting. Like, it was just some of the worst acting. I was like, well, who wrote this? Because that's there's a lot of stuff on CW like that where it's like the acting is just, it's like, it's not even C tier, it's like D tier, and you're like, how did you get this role, and why are they filming you with like, because it's like the lighting is good, the costumes or whatever, but the delivery is so bad. And I can't imagine being on like that set or whatever, and somebody's like, filming it, they hear you deliver that line, and it's like, you know what, we got it. Or that's your best take. Really? That's the best one? Because they film this shit more than once. It's never done one time. It's like, oh yeah, we're doing this 50, we're doing 15, 20 times. And it's like, that's the best you could do. Like, it's like, I'm not an actor. I just do nothing. I talk online every now and then. I just do a regular job. I could outact you. Absolutely, I could.
Oh my god. Like, so what about Star Wars now? Are you still gonna watch Mandalorian and Grogu?
I mean, I have the AMC Movie Pass, right? So I go and watch any new thing anyways, just because For $25 a month, I can see 4 movies a week. And so as long as I see 2 movies every month, it pays for itself. There's usually at least 2 movies to see. That'll probably be one of the big movies to see that month. I'll watch it just for that fact. But season 3 was trash. There's like no hype for this. Pedro Pascal's a fucking reject. Jesus Christ. Like, it has nothing going for it. It just looks like an extended episode. It looks like an extended episode of Mandalorian in general. Just looks like an hour and a half. It would probably be a 2-hour episode of that, because the production quality about it, they got AT-AT or AT-ATs, whatever, walking up mountains for some fucking reason. Like, falling off the side of mountains when they're walking up like a fire trail. Like, like what the fuck are you doing?
I heard the Super Bowl ad they put out got so heavily criticized. People actually thought it was AI. I'm like, that's bad. That's awful.
It might have been like, it was fucking awful. The Super Bowl was, I mean, the game was bad enough. And then that halftime show, I mean, like, the production quality was fine. Like, their ideas that they were going, like the way that it was filmed and everything was fine. But then you see the videos of the people that were actually there, they couldn't see fucking anything. Imagine paying like $1,000 for the worst tickets, like, let alone, so that's $1,000 for the worst tickets. You're up in like the nosebleeds. But some of those tickets, as you go further down, you're looking at 5-10 grand. And now you can't even see what's going on out there. And you're just hearing a guy just go, like, you don't understand him. And the funniest part is the backlash from people in Puerto Rico going, guess what, Americans, we can't understand him either. Like, nobody fucking understood this dude. And people are like, it was great. It's like, nobody understood him. Even his own people didn't. What are you talking about?
In the audience, there's videos of people in the audience.
Okay, there's like, what, there's like 100 people dancing throughout like a 40,000 people stadium. There's like 100 people.
What's worse is, like, if you're gonna pay $1,000 to $6,000 a ticket for go to Vegas, flight, hotel, everything, it's understandable.
I think it was in California.
Was it California? It might have been. Oh, you're right. Yeah, even worse, right? How expensive it is out here. So you're thinking like, okay, if I'm paying all this much money, I think it's understandable if someone wants to hear music that they could understand. Is that not bad? Like, is that in this event?
I don't think that's a big ask. Like, if they say the American soccer team, because that's the only one that I can think of that's kind of more international. Mm-hmm. If all of a sudden they're playing in, I don't know, say Portugal or Spain or some shit like that, and then you watch it out here, and even the commentary is in Spanish, I would just be like, okay, yeah, it's their national thing. There might be American commentators that speak Spanish that are translating, and then they do their halftime show or whatever they do. I don't know if they do that for soccer, but it's like, if they did a big event in the middle of their thing there and it was all in their national language, I'm not going to sit there and complain about it. I'll just be like, yeah, that makes sense. They're where they're at. Like, that whole stadium is filled with 99% of those people. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, and it's weird how, people, that crazy guy, that Jimmy Kimmel guy, everybody, that,
oh, he's retarded.
Famous retarded guy, says he's a comedian. Sure, I don't laugh, but sure, you can be a comedian. It's crazy. He brought up in a show recently that a bunch of Dems and progressives are big Bad Bunny fans, but that they can't even name 5 of his songs. What's crazy is I didn't see any liberal outrage for that. What's crazy, you guys got really mad at Jimmy Kimmel or you wanted to support Jimmy Kimmel when apparently Trump was the big bad guy for him. You sure didn't say any backlash to him when he called you out on pretending to like Bad Bunny. It's weird. All this fake pretending to like someone that you never heard of, you couldn't name a song out of, and you couldn't understand what the fuck he was saying. Why? Just say, hey, I don't understand this guy. I don't know who this was. I didn't like it.
I work in a predominantly Hispanic,
especially out here, you will.
Job.
A lot of Mexican people. Well, yeah, mine too. Yeah.
Well, in a predominantly Hispanic, every single one of them, they're pro Trump, and they're pro ICE even, which is hilarious. Because like I've never asked them, and then one of my coworkers like finally he just brought it up randomly. He's like, man, I don't understand all this hate for Trump, and like, very Hispanic dude, and I was just like, I was like, say that again, man. I didn't hear you. Cause I was like, I'm not going to ask. I don't care. We just work. We just get our shit done, whatever. And he was just like, dude, I'm for all that shit. He's like, fuck all these illegal. And I was like, holy shit. And we're in California, mind you. Me and you are both in California. So that's not the typical thing you would it's not that you wouldn't expect it. Like you kind of know based on the people you're around, but at the same time, you're like, you never we used to never bring up politics and you don't bring up religion. Like those are the two things you just never fucking talked about growing up. Doesn't matter where you're from. And as far as I'm concerned, most people didn't know, most people didn't care. You just went on with your day. It was fine. Now it's like those things matter for some reason. I mean, they still don't to me, but I mean, if you're gonna go bitch about it, it's like be able to defend yourself about it.
And the right's doing the same thing with Turning Point USA's thing. Like, I respect someone doing their own thing and putting their own skin in the game. That's fine.
I ended up watching that. We were watching the live halftime show. I was on with like Rockefeller and a couple other people, and we watched it, and it was like the lip sync was off. It was like the only reason I even like the Kid Rock thing is just because like I grew up listening to Kid Rock back in the day. Like I had that CD that the Ball with the Boss song is on. And I was just like, okay, that would be cool. Like, I wouldn't mind hearing that live one day, just because it was nostalgia, and that would be the same for just about any artist of that era. Like Eminem is super kind of lefty weirdo, but it's like I would still have a good time at an Eminem concert just because he would probably play a bunch of songs that I actually remember and know. There's probably a bunch of artists from that time that I'd be like, hey, that'd be cool to hear. I'm not sitting there like, hell yeah, pro TP USA, whatever.
Yeah, because I feel like the pendulum swinging to that doesn't make sense either. It's like, okay, Turning Point, weren't all these people shitting on Turning Point USA for what they think they may have did to Charlie Kirk? It's like both sides of people are stupid. Like, I just don't get this tribalistic nature.
It's weird. You're either one side or the other, or it's like you have no you have no really say in the matter. It's like if you say, yeah, I like this, but I dislike this, somebody's going to assume you're one side or the other when it's like, no, I'm actually kind of, probably you'd be surprised, I'm kind of somewhere more in the middle. But it's like, I don't know, overall it's like I'm pro America. I like America. I've lived here all my life. The side that seems to be more pro America right now seems to be the right. If you would have talked to me about it 10 years ago, I probably would have assumed it was, well, they wasn't right and left then. It was just Democrats and Republicans. Now they're considered right and left, whatever. So it's all the time, and you got to be able to make up your own fucking mind. So there you go. There you go with that. Make up your mind about it.
It's just so odd because, you know, apparently if you criticize, or, you know, even if you just say you like, let's say you randomly like the Bad Bunny halftime show. Apparently that makes you some sort of liberal progressive now. What kind of, it's so weird. Everything goes from 0 to 100. It's like, what if I just like the show? Oh no, that must mean you a liberal. I didn't care for the show. But like, if you did, it's like, no, you're just faking. You're going to say it for brownie points on Twitter. It's like, is anything genuine anymore? Like, what the fuck do you believe in?
Look, I got a better way to put it even. It's like, if you're rooting against whatever president wins, that is not a good thing. Like, I don't care if it's a Democrat president or Republican president. I'm still not rooting against them because I want America to win. Like, did Biden do a good job? No. Did I want him to fail as bad as he did? No. I wish he would have been great. That would have been cool. Like, wouldn't that be great for, I don't know, us as Americans? Wouldn't that have been cool? I don't care if it was a Democrat that did it. I don't care if it's a Republican that did it. I want America to be winning and doing great. That's all I want. Right now, I'm sorry, Trump's just doing a better job. He just is. You want to fucking be like, you're super pro Trump? Go for it. Have fun with that. If a Democrat wins the next one and everything gets even better, fan-fucking-tastic. Like, let's keep going. Let's keep winning. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that'll happen because the way that they talk and their rhetoric is bullshit, but,
so,
you know,
last few things I'll ask you before we head in here a little bit is, first thing is, do you have a plan for your YouTube channel coming up, or are you just going to be just streaming every once in a while?
Yeah, no. After MegaCon, like I said, the main purchase I need to be making is a new computer so I can get back into making videos. I'll probably be switching more to a little bit more video game content, and also um I'll probably be doing a little bit more commentary, kind of almost like how DA and people like that do, like doing videos on articles and stuff like that. But I just need a better computer. Like half the time this thing dies on me, I'm actually surprised it's lasted this long. Like so, that's kind of the main reason. Like I turn it off for a few days to give it a breather, dust it off every like week. Really just get in there and the fans to make sure it doesn't overheat. And so yeah, I need a new computer is the main thing. But yeah, so after MegaCon, so for the next month or so, yeah, it'll probably just be random streams and video game stuff. Because on video games, I just do PS5, and that way I don't have to deal with the computer.
Mhm.
It's not a big deal. And then yeah, after that, I'll be doing a lot more content, probably closer towards May or whatever. So I know that's a few months away, and it's like, wow, you're kind of falling off. It's like, sure, whatever. If you want to unfollow, go for it. I'd prefer if you didn't, because I will be doing more stuff again. And also, we do finally have more movies coming up. So probably start doing some movie reviews and stuff like that again, and get back more into the swing of things now that I'm a little bit more settled into my job. I got money saved up. I'm doing okay, because I was like a month away from being homeless. Like, so
That's
I was
fucking
I was I was living on the edge there, man. I wasn't doing good. Now I'm back
yeah.
to kind of normal, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
let's try and get back into the swing of
I
things.
think it's also good to just get away from the internet, just to make you just get things in
Well,
life
it's
sorted
it's
out
it's hard
too.
to come on and be like jovial and have a good time when your real life is kind of like falling apart and going to shit. And it's
Yeah, I
like,
know the
yeah,
feeling.
it's
Yeah,
like, oh, you want to come on and talk shit about people? Like, because who doesn't like to shoot the shit? But it's like, yeah, can you do that when everything around you is about to be lit on fire and you might be living in your car? It's like, yeah, that's not great. So I was like, I'm gonna feel like a hypocrite if I just jump onto shit and do this or that. And it's like, okay, I'm back. I'm good. I'm good again. Everything's fine. Nothing's on fire anymore. Everything's fine. Now it's just a matter of I've like I said, I have MegaCon coming up, and then yeah, it's mainly just the computer, and this thing's been a piece of shit for a while. So just getting that done, and then getting back onto the videos. So yes, there will be anime content. I'm like my channel is always going to be kind of an everything channel. Maybe I'll dive into something if something takes off really well. Maybe I'll dive more full into that. But I like to be able to talk about any and everything and talk about any and everything that's coming up. So I prefer to leave it like that and just you know, everyone says that if you're going to get into the streaming stuff or into the YouTube stuff, don't look at it to make money. So I'm not looking at it to make money because that's a recipe for disaster. Just do it to have fun, and just have fun with it. So that's what I'm aiming to do.
yeah. For me, I just aim to be hot, rich, good looking, and charismatic, and witty and funny.
When is that happening, by the way?
They said if you tell yourself it long enough. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like in the same similar boat, but I think at some point I gotta get off here at least for like a few months and just get some shit done. But I know I can do it. It's just my wife always tries to ride me every single night, and I gotta throw her outside. You know how that goes.
I mean, I know you've gone through a couple couches. That's fine.
Oh my god. So, but yeah, that's what you have planned coming up is essentially just saving to get a new computer and just gonna just do videos like DA does. Are you still gonna be on DA's channel since your computer hasn't been that good?
Yeah. No, I'm still on DA's channel every Sunday. And then if there's new shows that are coming out and he wants people to review them with him, I'm still catching up or I'm still watching all the new shows. Like I've been watching Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We
Spider
just watched
Noir. You're
Wonder
gonna watch
Man.
that?
I'm gonna watch Spider Noir. Yeah, so I'm still watching and catching up on everything. I'm just not doing videos on them right now,
Oh,
just because,
got
like
you.
I said, it's a pain in the ass to do it on this computer. It's just I'd probably be better off just doing it on my phone and just like fucking. I might even get more views that way. Who knows? But I need to be doing more of that. And then I've been picking up more video games lately. Like I'm going to be picking up Resident Evil 9 here in I think in about 2 weeks. I'll be streaming that when I get it. And
Mhm.
yeah, so just doing more stuff like that. Getting a camera for the PS5 because I can't run a camera through my well, I can't run OBS camera through my computer because my computer can't handle the video games and all that. So I got to use the PS5 for now.
Yeah, that's why on my previous PC, I had to get a new PC because that one I had in 2018, I had it for like 7 years. I had to get something new. It was just not good enough anymore.
Yeah, I built this one. It was cool for what I needed it for. Like I was playing Final Fantasy 14 for years, and it ran that just perfectly. It was all good. And then it was like, I think it was shit. What was it? Cyberpunk 2077. I was like, oh, I'm gonna try that out. Nah, wasn't happening. That shit would just like the computer just crashed on me every time. I was like, okay, I can't play this. Can't do it.
Last thing I ask, do you have any shout outs? Do you want to give to anyone in particular, and anything else you want to say before we head out?
Absolutely. So obviously DA at the DA's office, go check him out on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. He also does, I don't know if he does daily videos. If not, he does every other day videos. Go check him out. He's a big supporter of him. He's the main reason I even jumped into this. Obviously, Film Threat, Chris Gore over there is a big homie. And then Rockefeller Plaza, I'm going to be hanging out with him. And it's your Angel and DK Bones. Like those are the people that I've been hanging out with a lot. Also, Abe's going to get you. If you haven't seen him, he does a lot of stuff over at Rumble. So good people. Go check them out. They're awesome, man. They're good people. I like supporting good people because that's who I tend to hang out with. Also, keep checking out MSK. Even though I joke around with him a lot, he's good people. I got to meet him in person last year. It was all good. Everything's fine.
I heard he was good looking, tall and rich, and always got the ladies talking to him. I heard that.
He called me a bouncer, which was kind of weird, but yeah.
I heard girls were trying to take him back to their hotel rooms. I heard they were trying to ride him for a little bit. You didn't hear those rumors?
You might have heard way wrong, but yeah.
Oh, well, I just want to say, glad to talk to Syfaxx again sometime soon in the future because, I got to get some stuff done myself. Tomorrow, I'll have an MSK show episode with me and Jared. We're going to do a comic book review on Batman issue 2, which is part of the new Matt Fraction run. I did issue 1 with Laps a while ago. And then I might have the show tomorrow with Nate and Warren. Just depends on how I feel. So I'll let you guys know about it. I got a busy week coming up for next week. It's just I'm packed the next few weeks, and I got to get some other stuff done privately too. So, thank you guys for coming by and checking out this episode of the